I made my first 100K right here. Here's how. So really is right here where I was sitting, my boy was sitting, and this is the environment we was in, right? And so I'll just give you there a visual explanation as to where it all started, to where the come up really ensued. And throughout this video, I'm literally just going to be explaining my story of how it actually started off here. Obviously it's kind of funny now to look back. And I come from a good family, I was very middle class, I'm not putting this off, but this is where it started. This is where the real lock-in, the real hustle mode, the real discipline was really employed to go and reach the next level that we obviously went and got to. So for this, I'm gonna have to take it all the way back to the moment just before me and my boy actually came into here and really locked in, like our lives depended on it, because to us, they truly did. So before I was starting out in business, I was trying to trade some Forex, I was at home in the home office, you know, things were just getting by. Then my parents had moved, we moved to this new place, and I was living inside of there. As the story goes, Forex didn't work out, that shitty business model, of course, trying to trade. You guys have probably seen this online a bunch of different times now. Hence why I'm here where I am today after switching business models. So anyway, my friend had joined this coaching course group and community, whatever, right? And OFM was one of the side hustles in there. Lo and behold, one of the best moves that he'd ever made, and him telling me about it was one of the best moves I ever made too, after getting in. And so I was failing on my Forex journey, he was failing in some other business models, and I'm gonna try and keep this story fully short and sweet, because I know you guys are kind of interested, probably thinking like, what the fuck? How do you go from here to the Dubai penthouse? And you guys have seen the reality. Obviously, it's got a little bit overgrown since in the last couple of years, since I have not been in here. Obviously you can see the monitors are still kind of set up here, but now it's just with tools and a bunch of bullshit. Back to the point. He'd started off in business, and again, he'd learned about OFM. And after telling me about it, it's like, yo, so many people are making so much money in a short space of time. Like, look, your shit ain't working out, my shit ain't really working out. Let's just, you know, have a little go at this and see how we get on. I was like, you know what? Working with hot models online, printing cash, remote anywhere in the world, like the big G, sounds amazing. And so from that point there, we literally decided, look, we're gonna go all in on this. We're just gonna give it our all for the next 3-6 months, see how it goes. And we knew that it was possible because we saw a lot of other people doing it. And these people, we had seen IRL actually doing it as well after attending a few meetups and things. Power of network, guys. I'm gonna be dropping a few gems in here, so make sure you don't overlook my story, because a few things that if you read between the lines, I'm also gonna highlight them to you, that you can go ahead and take away and actually implement yourself to go and scale up on your own journey, whichever stage you're at. So anyway, we started off, we'd gone the usual course, we'd found out about this business model, we started researching a bunch of online on YouTube, on research, on networking, speaking with people as, you know, information moves at the speed of light. So just from a simple one conversation, we was gaining so much insight and knowledge by people who was already in the industry. The industry was very, very embryonic 2.5 years ago. So there wasn't much information out there online. A lot of it really came from what I'm gonna get to next in our story, which was just straight trial and error. Raw action and discipline and just going for it. So anyway, like anyone getting into this industry, first thing first, we needed a model, right? I had a rubbish Instagram page, so did he. We hadn't really done much in life at this point. He'd maybe been on a few holidays, so have I. And so we headed off to a cigar lounge, got some nice pictures taken, upgraded our IGs a little bit, and just went ham on outreach. All day, every day, while on the Tesco shop floor, he was on a Waitrose shop floor, we was just going at it. Until eventually something clicked. A few models replied, and we actually got some models through the sort of sales process of signing them to our agency and got things underway with a couple of models. So we've got a couple of models on board by this point, and we've realized, look, we need this now. We've got the opportunity. We're the luckiest men alive. We've been given this opportunity by God, and now it's time for us to double down, triple down, and make this happen and build this agency to the vast extreme that it needs to get to. But we've got a few pivotal key turning points in my story, which I'm gonna be touching on very, very soon, which are key aiders to our success in such a short time frame. So we're working, we're grafting. I wouldn't say at this point we're fully grinding the 22-hour days that we eventually got into, because we're still just kind of getting proof of concept. I don't think we yet fully internalized the belief that this is possible. But we've got a couple of models on board through outreach. We've now onboarded their accounts. We've never even seen an OnlyFans account before. Talk the talk and then actually went on to walk the walk. So we've gone through their dashboards, we've started making sales, chatting ourselves, started learning about the marketing. Obviously, a lot of this is, like I say, it's coming through trial and error. There's not a lot out there online. Through speaking with people who are having small success on maybe Reddit or Instagram at the time, or even TikTok, which was an absolute killer back in the day. So anyway, I'm gonna start getting on to the key mover that is how I actually made my first 100K from this garage, because there was one significant event, and I would say it's a significant event because it was literally something that changed my life forever. A simple action, a DM that my friend had sent to a model a simple outreach message to which her boyfriend replied, right? And now some people probably think, oh shit, her boyfriend replied, that doesn't seem good, whatever, right? Her boyfriend replied and he was interested by our proposition. Again, OFM was in this embryonic stage. Not many people knew about it. Herself, she was in the industry as a model. Little did we know, himself, he was in the industry as a model. Now he was very green-eyed. This guy loved money, loved business, right? This guy was going to go on to be our referral. And he saw the DM, was he thinking, why the hell are you DMing my girl? But he's saying, why are you DMing my girl and saying that you're gonna make us more money with less work? That's something I'm interested about. And so lo and behold, this guy with his business mind put us a proposition back. He said, you know what? Prove it. Put your money where your mouth is and I will deliver you unlimited girls. Fucking hell. Just from starting out, being a month into the game, not even knowing what we're fucking doing, we had to put our confidence face on and go, you know what? We can do it and we're gonna do it. Watch this. Signed her on like 30% because we had to just prove ourselves at this point. We were mashing it, went through the chats. I think we scaled her account from like, she was doing like $200 a month. Next week, 2K a week, right? We're scaling it up fast. He's like, what is going on? Doesn't even know about this chatting strategy that we're putting in because we've learned from other guys, we've learned from online, and we're just putting in, again, sheer raw action and what we think works. We know the end goal, we know roughly the pathway to get there, so we're just executing. So anyway, we've scaled up this model, he's brought through another couple more models, and then he brought through the absolute gem of all gems. So he brings through a super unique model, someone who's interested in starting OnlyFans, but had insane potential. Again, I'm only 2 months in at this point, but we're all scaling up very fast, we're working very hard, we've quit our jobs by this point. And the turning point of us actually getting here on how we generate it, at this point we realized we need to be somewhere together, often me and my boy, just so we can sit there and grind, we can bounce ideas off each other, we can work hard, we can keep each other accountable. And at the time we was doing it inside of my parents' house, right? Sitting on the kitchen table, but it was getting unfeasible. My parents were coming down at 4 AM, we was both still sitting there. They was then waking up at like 8 AM, we were still sitting there. They was then coming back from work at 5 PM, we were still sitting there. They're like, boys, you sleeping? What's going on? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Because at this point, I haven't told them what business model I'm in. Wasn't sure how they'd react. Told my old man, he thought I'm a G, right? But I haven't really explained too much because I myself, I wasn't ready to like put it out there of what I'm doing. So I didn't really realize what I'm doing either at this point. Just kind of running and gunning. So then this guy has referred through an absolute banger model. Now we'd started out on this model. Again, we've taken over her socials and we'd got going with the minimal sort of content that she had provided, and she blew up like this. She literally went from fresh starter on OnlyFans, 10K followers on IG, to us posting a few pictures, a few reels, etc. And her account just went phew, right? Her account went from doing 0 to, in the first month, we launched on like the 16th of December. So again, like I say, going back like 2 or 3 years at this point, 2.5 years. And so we launched on the 16th of December. By the end of that first month, she'd done 12K. Now in January, she'd done 50K. And by this point, obviously the referral had obviously seen he's getting his cut, that we'd offer him a percentage kickback on. So he's saying, okay, brilliant. All I need to do is bring you guys more models and you guys can do the fucking magic. Yeah, no worries, because we're all making money at this point, right? We're just all providing value to each other and running it up. Amazing. So now he's brought through another couple of big models, young male influencer, right? We're like, yeah, cool, we'll get him launched. Don't worry about it, right? On a slightly lower percentage, but don't matter, because we're getting cash in, more cash than I've ever seen in my life, more cash than I even know what to do with. And this is where I say, like, I made my first 100K, is because then in January, obviously we'd had a few more models from this guy, a few more like medium-sized models. So that model we'd launched in December had gone on to hit 50K. The sort of micro influencer or medium influencer guy had gone on to hit like, I don't know, 30K. And we had another couple of models. So now we're hitting almost like 100+ K revenue in the few months span that we're on, that we're doing this business model. And you got to remember, it's me and my boy. We've got no chatters, we've got no marketing team, we've got no overheads, we're living at home. We're taking at 100K net profit at 50% margins. We're taking 25% each, like 25K each, right? A month. And I'm thinking like, I was like a month ago, I was working in Tesco for 1K a whole month, for like, you know, multiple days work a week per month, whatever. Anyway, don't go off too much on a tangent. But you can see how now, it was literally after 3 or 4 months, we'd made 100K each, right? The story gets a little bit worse from here on there. Because we had issues with banking and model payouts, and some models seeing a lot of money in a short space of time and not wanting to give that up to the people that had achieved it for them. So we're not going to get into them today anyway. This story was literally purely outlining the very fast way that we had been able to generate 100K from literally sitting here. So going back to it for a few more key points. So like I say, we was in the inside of my parents' house. We realized we need to get out. My dad said, look, we've got this kind of shed here, it's pretty beat up, but we kind of moved some shit around. Like I said, we put this desk in here. We put some monitors in here, and we used to literally just, as you saw from the beginning of the video, we would wake up here, we'd work the entire day up to nighttime, and then we'd have a little bit of a sleep. When I say a little bit of sleep, like genuinely like between 3 and 6 hours of sleep. And some days we would just have a bit of a rotational shift where in the afternoon, if someone had been going for like 24 to 30 hours, they could just post up on the sleeping bag, get a little bit of a snoozy in, and then boom, as soon as you wake up, you're straight back in the action. Coffee from the kettle that we had here. We literally had kettle, water, and Red Stripe, and Domino's, because that was the only thing open late at night to eat on. And that wouldn't, I couldn't go inside and cook at like 3 a.m. in my family's house. So it was literally just grinding, like heavy. Like guys will not even understand, they won't even comprehend, because they look at my life now and think, oh yeah, well, it's all right for you to say, oh gee, I was working at Tesco, and I come in here for 22 hours a day, fucking grafted, doing shit, making phone calls, selling models the dream, pushing some marketing while learning at the same time, while chatting on an account, while chatting on one account, then chatting on another account over here. Like, I was making it happen. Like you can just physically make it happen. And do you know what it was as well? This is the two big key drivers that you need to take away from this video. You need to take away faith, because we knew that it was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen. We didn't believe, we didn't think, we knew it was going to happen, right? So we had that ultimate faith, then we backed it with action. We just blindly walked the path. We just knew we're going to be successful, we're going to make this work, and we was just doing. And by sheer force, by sheer volume, by sheer raw action, life could not grant us any other reality. And then it did. Like I say, so we're in here grafting, make some cash. That model's, like I say, now gone to like 100+ K a month. And now at this point, we're probably getting into like February, March, and we've generated again each 100K, not bad. And then we start looking to move out. And then we go from here, then that's when we moved up to Manchester in April of 2023. And then things just absolutely rocketed from there. So it was amazing to see. But nonetheless, that is my short story on how I generated 100K from this room right here, right? Literally signed some models, launched their marketing, chatted on their accounts, invoiced them. That's it. And so to anyone going through it, this garage literally represents like pure grit, determination. You'll make it out, right? Not comfort. You won't just sit in there, do a bit of work, have a tea, sit on the sofa, scroll a bit of Instagram. No, we was in here every day, multiple hours a day, significant amounts of hours every day, making it happen. And you guys can do this too. And now I'm at a bit of a different stage where it's not necessarily about grinding 22 hours a day. Yes, you've still got to put the work in, still got to put them intentional hours in if I want to grow and get to that next level beyond. But at your initial stages, don't worry about any of that. Don't worry about optimizing your routine. Gym got well put out the way. Just get towards whatever your desired goal is. And if that's cash, if that's a bit more money, a bit more freedom, then fucking work hard for it. Right, and so since this, you've obviously seen, we got way from beyond here into building a multi-6-figure-a-month agency, and we have been for the last couple of years. And if you like anything that you've seen here in this story, in this video, make sure that you take away the gems and actually apply them to your life. And hell, if you don't know where to start, hit up some of the links down below, because now I actually go ahead and help you guys in any single stage that you're at with your OFM journey or your business journey, whether you're just starting out, whether you've got an existing agency and don't know how to scale it. Hit me up, let me help you. let me literally fast track your success, because I've done it myself. Right, and so key points before we round off this video: learn a high income skill, marketing, sales, recruiting, and apply them all to the OFM business model. It's one of the most highly lucrative business models still to this day. Apply yourself and you can go and achieve that desired reality of freedom that I assume that you're probably here looking up on how you can get more of. Remember to start lean, focus on action, and results will come. And be willing to get in the trenches. I literally love the trenches. I would return here and do a little shift now myself. I love it, it's great. This is exactly where you can grow and get to that next level. Obviously, this is only going to resonate with some people. If you're at a completely different stage of your journey, this isn't going to make sense. For you, you might be optimizing things a little further if you do have your agency already up and running. And don't get me wrong, you've again seen some of my other videos that we are very fond of, good routines, living in a better environment. But at early stages, this is exactly how I made my first 100K from the garage right here. Right, so remember, back your faith with action. As always, Money Mace, Double M, or just Mason if you prefer. I'm out, catch you in the next video.